What's up, everybody? Thanks so much for watching. Got a lot of cool stuff to talk about, so we're going to get to it in just a little bit. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't. Please check us out on the web at livecortex.com. Bunch of nootropic products, which I'll explain here in a bit. Facebook, we need a lot of folks to go like us on Facebook, please. Facebook.com/Cortex Stacks, or just search in the search bar for Cortex Labs. You'll find us. Like the page. All right, we're running specials on product, plus we have some cool product. Here it is.
Elite level nootropic products.
All right, number one, the Cortex nootropic stack. That's our stack we made for focus, verbal fluency, motivation, productive drive. It's the kind of stack you take if you really want to just get the brain in gear and then get to work for a considerable period of time. It's also the kind of stack you want to take if you want to have massive verbal fluency. You want to have your brain working so fluidly that you just don't pause for words, everything flows correctly, and you sound like you know what you're talking about. It is important to be verbally fluent in many contexts, especially sales, but also dealing with bosses, dealing with managers, doing anything that involves talking. Cortex stack right now on sale for $24 for the Cyber Week, basically the Cyber Week special. Just use the coupon code Thanksgiving, and you can get Cortex for $24. If you're new to nootropics, buy Smarter, Better, Faster. That's a book that teaches you everything you need to know about nootropics. And it's digital and has many stacks in it. If you need my help personally, we have a consulting service that is super popular. It's a 40-minute call with me on nootropics, 15 additional email correspondences. And if you really want to take your ambition to the next level on nootropics, buy the Nootropics Starter Pack. The Starter Pack gets you a bottle of Cortex and Smarter, Better, Faster. That's like perfect place to start on nootropics. The coupon code Thanksgiving takes money off of all that stuff right now. Okay, so I got three different topics here that I want to talk about that are pretty interesting, came from the nootropic subreddit. A couple studies, most of them are studies, and then one's an anecdotal experience. And I want to kind of just teach you some of these things that are actually happening here, and then give you my, kind of my anecdotal and other people's anecdotals too. The first one discusses how Piracetam, which is like the granddaddy racetam, it's super well studied. It's been around for a long time. I think a lot of the other racetams are essentially based upon Piracetam, right? They're just modified chemically in a few different ways to make different compounds, or to make the compounds a lot more potent but less doses. But Piracetam's awesome. I mean, 2 to 4 grams, you know you're going to get a pretty good solid effect. And take it with a choline source if you need it, and you're going to run into some good brain performance benefits. For me, Piracetam's a little subtler than the other racetams. It's not that stimulant-like, but it does just improve memory, focus, verbal fluency, and processing capacity and processing speed. It's really pretty awesome. And by the way, great stack: 4 grams Piracetam, a regular dose of caffeine, 120 or so milligrams. 200 milligrams theanine. Piracetam, caffeine, theanine really works if you want to keep it simple. Okay, so the study is Piracetam attenuates LPS-induced neuroinflammation and cognitive impairment in rats. I'm not going to read you the study, but I will just kind of explain it. LPS-induced neuroinflammation is inflammation in the brain induced by these things called lipopolysaccharides. And lipopolysaccharides are effectively toxins, endotoxins that get released from bacteria in your gut. So, I mean, these days, a lot of people that have food sensitivities, like the guy, the girl that goes to the restaurants, like, I can't order this, I can't order that, I've got to just have a salad or whatever, or have a gluten sensitivity. Those people have issues with gut bacteria. I mean, it seems very clear. There's an overgrowth of a gram-positive bacteria in the small intestine. There's a balance between gram-positive and gram-negative bacteria in the colon that has gotten out of whack. And as a result, they don't digest particular foods well, because those foods interact with that bacterial dysbiosis, which is basically just an imbalance, and then cause problems. But when that happens, especially bad bacteria, they release these things called lipopolysaccharides, and they're toxic to your brain, and they cause inflammation in your brain. And Piracetam attenuates that in this study. So that's like one awesome thing. We're always talking about not only the performance benefits, but also the neuroprotective benefits, and Piracetam, is a total win in that category. So take some Piracetam. It is awesome, especially if you've got gut problems. That's the major takeaway. Next topic, supplementation with DHA or DHA plus UMP, which is uridine monophosphate, increases major membrane phospholipids in adult gerbil hippocampus. And this is all like hard to read. But basically, docosahexaenoic acid, which is one of the primary fatty acids in fish oil, the one that really your brain is like comprised of, and you need a lot of it. I mean, I eat a lot of fish and or take a lot of fish oil supplements or krill oil supplements. I mean, that's a significant part of neurogenesis and basically dendritic spine enhancement. The density of dendrite spines gets enhanced with DHA. The study, though, says that both DHA and then DHA plus uridine monophosphates facilitates increases in dendritic spine density. All that really means is you're going to have a lot better brain performance, but it also increases major membrane phospholipids like phosphatidylcholine, which is critically important for brain function and brain fluidity. So what's the takeaway? If you want to engage in maintenance of the brain over time, also getting nootropic benefits, because uridine is very stimulant-like and very motivating, take 150 to 200 milligrams of uridine monophosphate and 2 to 3 grams of DHA. If you add a choline source, then you're really into that mix, 100 milligrams alpha GPC, then you really have a powerful combination of ingredients. And if you really want to get fancy, throw 300 milligrams of Alcar in there, as well as a B complex, and you're really going to have an awesome stack. Last one, not a good one for Piracetam. We like to keep it balanced over here. Piracetam depression. Hey guys, this is the second time I experienced a sort of depression-like state while on Piracetam. First time I was combining with modafinil and had a microscopic sip of green tea, after which everything went wrong. Yeah, I mean, probably your brain is not handling the modafinil and Piracetam at the same time. Some people's do, some people's don't. Plus, I need to look at your doses to really determine what's going on. Both times, I've also been taking DHA and a low dose of ashwagandha and theanine for preventing anxiety and jitterness. Okay, so I just want to stop there and say, if you're taking other compounds with your Piracetam, you cannot look at the Piracetam as the problem. And in a lot of cases, if you're taking something, I don't really know what the doses of ashwagandha and theanine are, but these are tranquility nootropics, and they're going to not make you uppity and performance-based and all these kind of things. And in conjunction with Piracetam, for some people, depending on the doses of all of them, depression could easily ensue. Today I was feeling the effects when the Piracetam started kicking in, a nice mood boost. So I went out to get some coffee before starting work. Got some espresso shots, didn't feel much probably because of the L-theanine. Then I came home and it hit me. A terrible depression-like state, like I don't want to do anything, everything is shit. So I would like to understand what exactly is causing this. These are my theories. Too much acetylcholine activity. Okay, that's probably the cause. Too much acetylcholine activity, so you got to take your dose down on that. I don't see where he's even taking a choline source with any of this stuff. Yeah, so you probably have to take your Piracetam dose down, because too much acetylcholine activity for some people is going to cause depression. A depletion of choline reserves due to high acetylcholine activity, that's also possible too, but I would wager that it's just too high of a dose of Piracetam for you. A lowering of dopamine due to an unknown mechanism, probably not the case. And a weird and unfavorable interaction between Piracetam and caffeine, definitely not the case. Piracetam and caffeine stack super well for a lot of people. Look, you might be somebody who's cholinergically dominant. Your brain just doesn't need a whole lot of fussing with that system, in which case you should be taking dopamine-centric nootropic compounds, non-neurotransmitter modifying nootropic compounds, or non-heavy neurotransmitter modifying nootropic compounds. Perhaps something like yohimbine, alpha-lipoic acid, Alcar would be another great suggestion there. Kind of the subtle ones. And then just kind of work on your baseline so you generally have good performance. But yeah, focus on dopamine. I bet you'd respond well to modafinil by itself. And I bet you'd respond well to L-dopa by itself. I bet you'd respond well to tyrosine by itself. Not everyone can take everything, and you got to know that. Okay, so that's my take on the Piracetam depression dilemma, really. Thanks so much for watching. Ryan at livecortex.com. If you have questions, I'd love to answer them on the air. Remember, everything we have is on sale right now. The Cortex stack at $24 using the coupon code Thanksgiving. Smarter, Better, Faster. If you're new to nootropics, you got to start there. Buy the book. You will love it. The Nootropic Starter Pack is on sale too using the coupon code Thanksgiving. That gets you a bottle of our stack Cortex plus Smarter, Better, Faster, our digital book that teaches you everything and is where you need to start if you're new. And if you need my help personally on anything related to nootropics, just buy our consulting service. I'll get back to you within a couple days. It's a 40-minute call with me, basically to help people figure out stacks that really work well for them, okay? Thanks so much for watching, everybody. More content coming soon. We'll talk to you next time.
My name is Ryan Michael Ballo. For 6 years, my sole mission has been to improve the performance of my brain. This is why I created Cortex. My mission was to build a nootropic stack that gave me extreme focus, powerful motivation, and a heightened cognitive state. And after years of experimentation and a comprehensive beta testing protocol, and putting together the most powerful nootropic compounds on the planet, I found what I was looking for.